listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk. Only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
And we are live out of Birmingham, Alabama, and I am joined by my friend and my co-investigator and mainly just all-around great guy, Felix Martin. And Felix, I'm so sorry I had to interrupt you. Do you remember where you were?
We were talking about the different realms and different things, and we just got to keep an open mind on when you're investigating that we don't know who we're talking to. We don't know what we're talking to, you know. I can tell you one thing I don't want to talk to is a demon, that's for sure.
Well, I don't want to either, but you know, they're very deceptive and they're very good at their job, and there are actually rules that govern their behavior, and they know them.
I know.
And unless you're somebody like Dave Considine or Kyle Cobb, you don't know them.
No, and like I said, I've always told people, if I go investigate in a house and I decide there's a demon there, I say, I'm done. I will give you the number of a couple of demonologists that can come and help you. Or call a priest. Because I am not equipped. I'm not equipped. I mean, I've studied it, but I still don't have, you know, because they can attack your weaknesses. They know your weaknesses.
Yes.
And even the most strong people that I know, the demonologists, have been attacked, you know, including Kyle Cobb.
Yes.
That's a story where he spent months, you know, dying in heat because he thought he was cold, you know, and that was, you know, an act of a demon that was put that suggestion in his head. So, no, I mean, even the top demonologists can get fooled too. So I will not mess with that. I will talk to spirits, ghosts, and I can say there's mean ones, there's nice ones. Like I tell people, if you were a jerk in life, you're going to be a jerk in the afterlife.
Absolutely.
You know,
I swear by that.
Yeah, you go to a prison. You know, the prisoners weren't there because they were little sweet gentlemen or women or anything like that. They were there because they were murderers, killers, you know, and rapists and all that stuff. So, you know, you're going to encounter, I mean, I have heard the worst bad words I have encountered have been from the bad ones.
Right.
And I was told that few at the hospital by an ex, you know, child rapist, you know. So you sometimes know you're dealing with a jerk.
Well, and you just have to recognize that. And, you know, they try to be they try to make you fearful. And I've also seen them, and you have too, try to make the other spirits around them fearful, feeling like they're bound there. And they're not. I mean, whatever. There's nothing that has dominion over someone else in that situation.
No.
So, and it's sad when you feel like somebody has been made to believe that they are controlled.
Exactly. Now, I know I feel like I'm protected. I have my angels that protect me. I do feel that greatly.
Right.
But I still approach everything with total respect. You know, like when we went to Lake Shawnee.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Lake Shawnee. It was it's a wonderful place. We've been going there for 3-4 years already, and there is over 3,000 Indians buried on those grounds, and they go back. You know, they have discovered where they've done testing, and we're talking about 400 or 500 years that the Shawnee were there. So I went in total respect because I can't stand people that don't respect, especially Indians. You do not mess with Indian burial grounds. I tell people this is bad juju.
It totally is.
But I went and gave an offering at the burial site, at the mound. I offered fruit and tobacco, and I said a few words there that I was there to respect their life on this earth, and that I do not mean any disrespect for being there. And I even asked their female deity, which, their goddess that they prayed to was Kokumtina. And I asked her for protection during the hunt, that I was only there to learn from them, So that's how I approach something like that, because you disrespect something, and I can't promise anything. It could be bad or it could be nothing at all. You're not going to get anything. But I always, no matter what, when I talk to the children that were killed by the Shawnee, I talk to them like I'm talking to children.
Yes.
And with total respect. And if they have anything to say, even when I talk to the little girl that died on the swings, and again, like I said, you always have to bring yourself down to the level that they were at. If it's children, talk down, to their level. At the Indian burial ground, I did research before I went there. And I did extensive research, and I found out you don't raise your voice at the mound. Women should not talk, interrupt the man when he's talking at the mound. But men should not talk down to a woman, because the women were very revered by the Shawnee. So all that would have been signs of disrespect if you did any of that. But, there's people that walk along the grave because they want to get closer, and it's like, that's disrespect.
Yes.
And I try to tell everybody, no matter where you're hunting, you got to learn where you're at and respect it. Even if you're talking, I was at, one time I was at the fort over in St. Augustine. You know where that is?
I do. Down in Florida.
Yeah, and I went to the area. It was nighttime, and I went to the area where the firing squad shot all those people. Killed all those people. And I just went there, and there were people there trying to talk to them and doing all kinds of questions, dumb questions.
Right.
And I just approached. I set my REM pod and my K2 down, and I said, "Listen, I'm here in total respect. I understand that most of you, if not all, were innocent of your crimes, that what they did here was not right. And I understand that you were innocent, from the Indians that were killed here to the white people that were killed here and the slaves. I understand that you were innocent." Man, my REM pod and K2 just going off. And everybody started surrounding me and trying to see what I was doing. And all I was doing was talking to them like this,
right,
and talking to them with respect, and communicating that I understand that what they went through was not right and that they were innocent. And it felt calming after. Like they were relieved that someone finally understood. Maybe I was the first one that came there and said that to them, where everybody else, you were shot. Why were you here? And knock on the wall, whatever. I just came there and just had a conversation. And I'm telling you, my REM pod and K2 were just going nuts. And that was to me an acknowledgement that they were hearing me. You there? Did I lose you? Hello, cat. Can anybody hear me? Can anyone hear me? I'm still connected.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, that was a little bit of a twist and turn there, but I'm glad I'm back because I have questions for you.
I was going to say, call Verizon. Can you hear me now?
We were having that conversation earlier.
Yeah.
But, one of the things that when you were experiencing that in St. Augustine, I can't think of anyone I've ever seen do that. Do that kind of an investigation that responsibly. And they had to really appreciate that because, you have to be so tired. Like we were talking earlier, people come in, they ask the same questions, they're ugly, they don't do anything, that's the least bit interesting. They're just blah. So
Right.
I've got to think somebody that comes in like you do, has to be refreshing.
And that's what I tell everybody when you approach any investigation. Is approach it like that, softly. Don't yell, don't scream, don't antagonize. Just talk to them at their level. One thing, I was at the hospital, and we were in the OR, and it was a small group that everybody that has investigated with me before. So we just sat down, and we were laughing and just enjoying ourselves. We weren't, asking questions. We were just enjoying ourselves, cutting up a little bit with each other. You'd be surprised. I don't know how many entities came in, but we had some kind of ectoplasmic something happening between some people. They could feel fingers touching their hands. Then I saw a little shadow of a child next to someone else. And then all of a sudden I see this white mist outside the door of the OR. It gathered up into a ball, and then it came into the OR, and it fogged up the whole room.
Wow.
All this happened all simultaneously. It was like, I felt like everybody was coming in to see what the fun was about.
That's amazing.
It was amazing. I mean, we were all in awe. And all it was we weren't just going in there and say, who's here? What are you doing here? Like one time I was communicating in the OR, and I was talking to a child, and then all of a sudden one of the guests is screaming, "Why did you kill your wife?"
Oh my God.
God, where did that come from?
That just killed all the activity, didn't it?
It immediately just went dead. And it's like this guy was like, oh, I don't want him with my hunts anymore, because he was just like, and he came in the next day, and all of a sudden I started communicating. We heard footsteps coming towards us and everything, and immediately he plays on his computer air sirens.
What was he thinking?
Air raid sirens in a hospital. It's like, what are you doing? Of course, it went dead then.
Right.
So you got to learn that you approach it nicely. You don't scream and yell at them, because think about it. Like I tell people, think about it. If it's you're sitting there and you're curious. Okay, who's here? I would be rolling my eyes every time I see a paranormal group coming. Oh no. Here comes these guys. They're going to ask me the same stupid questions. Knock on the door.
Yeah.
What's your name? Why did you die? Well, how did you die?
My attitude would be, I'm just not talking back.
Well, I
I'm
would
going to
roll
do
my
my
eyes.
nails.
Yeah, think about it. If they came and told you that, So when it's something fresh and new, and that's why I do ask other guests, ask a question. No